with Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and another dozen ultra-rich billionaires living in glorified matchboxes. I think it's time to remind them how billionaires should live. So let's remind them how their predecessors lived in luxury. Touring the 6 largest mansions in the U.S. Harbor Hill, the masterpiece of extravagance nestled at the highest point in Nassau County. Built by the illustrious telecommunications magnate Clarence Hungerford Mackay between 1899 and 1902, this mansion was the very definition of architecture. Why can McKen, Mead, and White, with Stanford White at the helm of the design, have thought, why stop at excess when you can go over the moon? Harbor Hill, overlooking Hempstead Harbor, cost only $781,443 to build, not counting the pocket change spent on furnishings. To put it into perspective, that's about 60,000 square feet more than your average Joe's house. And who wouldn't want a house so big that you need breadcrumbs to find your way from the bedroom to the bathroom? At Harbor Hill, grand doors like Versailles welcome you. A $150,000 driveway leads through. A 1.5-kilometer driveway, valued at $150,000, wound up a steep hill to the house, flanked by maples because clearly you need a forested pathway for such a grand entrance. The interiors, designed by Allard and Son of Paris and Davenport and Son of Boston, were a visual feast overseen, of course, by the lady of the mansion, Catherine Dewar Mackay. The oak-paneled lobby was a testament to a bygone era when grandeur meant marble fireplaces large enough to consume an entire tree. And speaking of trees, the formal gardens designed by Humble Lowell stretched across 688 acres. But why settle for a few acres when you can have a square mile? One can only imagine the heated debates over the garden design. The fountain should have been 1 centimeter more to the left. Now let's talk about unique features. Kitty's bathroom on the 2nd floor, a true masterpiece, cost $50,000. That's right, $50,000 for a bathroom with a bathtub carved from a single block of marble. It's like the ancient Romans, but with a bigger budget and fewer togas. Harbor Hill wasn't just a residence. It was a cultural treasure. Clarence, bless his heart, collected suits of armor like a kid collects Pokemon cards. Renaissance armors, no less. Because what's a mansion without a knight in shining armor? The art collections include works by Botticelli, Raphael, and Duccio. Basically, it's a who's who of Renaissance rock stars. Take that, Louvre. This magnificent display of opulence belongs to none other than Clarence Mackay, the man with a $500 million fortune that, in today's terms, would be enough to buy a small country or a few islands, whatever he fancied. Clarence and his wife Kitty, the blue-blooded offspring with a penchant for running off to Paris with younger men, were the toast of high society. They threw parties for Lindbergh and even one for the Prince of Wales. Scott Fitzgerald drew inspiration from them to write The Great Gatsby. But the winds of change blew in, and with the crash of 1929, Harbor Hill faced a fate as tragic as a Shakespearean play. The mansion closed in 1932, was vandalized during World War II, and passed away in 1947. These days, only echoes of its former glory remain, like the Mackay Gatehouse, a miniature reminder of a time when access was an art form. So here's Harbor Hill, where opulence had a grand adventure before saying goodbye in a blaze of dynamite glory. But enough about the sad past. Let's take a look at Kitty Mackay and her dream house. The Versailles is modern and nestled in the lap of opulence in Windermere, Florida. This 90,000 square foot modern mansion is a contemporary ode to extravagance. This mega mansion is a magnificent example of how to indulge to the max. Designed to mimic the grandeur of its French namesake, the Palace of Versailles, the modern Versailles is the creation of real estate mogul David Siegel and his wife, the queen of extravagance, Jackie Siegel. As you step into this modern marvel, the first thing that catches your eye is its price. Just $100 million in pocket change. Absolutely. Beyond the facade, marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and details dominate. Living spaces balance sophistication and comfort, suitable for family gatherings and luxurious soirees. The master suite can accommodate 3 families. The living spaces blend style and ease, making them suitable for both intimate family gatherings and luxurious soirees. The master suite is spacious for multiple families, with a grand bedroom, private lounges, and spa-like en-suites. The master suite is big enough to accommodate at least 3 whole families. It is nothing short of a sanctuary of indulgence, with a palatial bedroom, private living areas, and ensuite bathrooms that would put most spas to shame. It is clear that seagulls know what it is to pamper themselves 2000. It's rumored that the bathroom faucets dispense liquid gold, but don't quote me on that. But the modern Versailles isn't just a house. It's a lifestyle experience. Movie nights in a state-of-the-art theater, a temperature-controlled wine cellar, a fully equipped gym, and a tranquil spa are just a few of the amenities that will make you wonder if you've accidentally walked into a 5-star resort. The outdoor spaces are just as impressive. Exuberant gardens, sparkling fountains, and an infinity pool that probably requires lifeguards. And who can forget the 2 tennis courts and the baseball field? Because there's nothing more luxurious than hitting home runs in the backyard. And who can forget the 2 tennis courts and the baseball field? Because there's nothing more luxurious than hitting home runs in the backyard. Now let's tackle the piece de resistance, the sheer absurdity of the features inside. 11 kitchens, 14 bedrooms, because why not? 3 indoor pools. 2 outdoor pools, because, again, why not? A 2-lane bowling alley. A 2-story private cinema. A British pub sent from England. A ballroom that can rival the grandeur of Versailles in France. Do you think they have an orchestra ready to play classical music while you take the private elevator from the master bedroom to the closet? I wouldn't be surprised. The materials used in this Florida palace are as rare as seeing a phoenix in the garden. Millions of dollars worth of Brazilian mahogany and marble have been imported to ensure that no expense is spared in the construction of this dream mansion. Construction started in 2004, with pauses due to financial crises, personal tragedies, and global pandemics. But don't worry, because as long as there's money in the bank, there's hope that one day this palace will be finished. Yeah, Jackie Seidel definitely knows how to make a splash with her house, but even so, as amazing as it is, it's only the 5th largest in the state. You should be ashamed, Jackie. You might need a lesson on how to build true masterpieces. Listen closely. Arden House, showcasing its luxury and high price. Railroad magnate Edward Henry Harriman spent $52,500 on this mansion. Arden House, 97,188 square feet of extravagance. In its heyday, railroad magnate Edward Henry Harriman shelled out a whopping $52,500 to build this mansion. Of course, if your pockets are lined with gold bullion, the Arden House, a 97,188 square foot monument to excess, is not just a house, but a testament to extravagance. This architectural colossus is the envy of mansions around the world, with dozens of priceless pieces of art, sculptures, tapestries, and decorations that probably cost more than your college education. But wait, there's more. The mansion is just a speck in the grandeur of the 355-acre estate, where you'll find a private 125-acre lake. Sure, skinny dipping might be off the table, but who cares when you can enjoy private yachts, fishing, and other water-related activities? Far from prying eyes, it's the perfect hideaway when you need to break away from the relentless scrutiny of your less fabulous friends. This architectural masterpiece boasts a chateau style with impressive stonework that screams, "I'm rich," and "I know it." As you walk in, the hallways adorned with bricks and marble make you feel like you're strolling through a museum. Why settle for a house when you can live in a work of art? The piece de resistance is the living room, where the royal red curtains alone could make you forget that you're not royalty. 2000 in greatness is the key word here, with oak wood, imported tapestries, and designer furniture combined to create a room that practically screams, "Commoners, stay away." And let's not forget the music room, Designed in the image of the great medieval halls with stone carvings, chandeliers, one touch of inspiration from European castles, it is a musical fairy tale using that would make Cinderella envious. Once upon a time, Arden House was the residence of the railroad elite, a symbol of excess and grandeur. Today it is owned by the National Conservation Research Center, which for some unfathomable reason uses it for conferences and relaxation, because there is nothing more relaxing than sitting in a room that used to house corbel carvings of sheep and brown Y. So, if you've got a few $100 million lying around and you enjoy pretending to be royalty or a railroad magnate, Arden House might just be the perfect spot for you. Just be ready for your wallet to scream in pain as you hand over a lifetime of savings to enjoy the modest view of one. But if you're not one for modesty, there's only one solution. The one. When producer Now Niami decided to build the biggest and most expensive house in Los Angeles, the whole world prayed that it wouldn't be as bad as his movies. After all, who would want to see the mega mansion equivalent of The Patriot or Resurrection? Thank God, his real estate projects were way better than his film productions. And that's how The One was born, not the action movie Jet 51, but the most opulent and expensive house in all of the U.S. Its construction took almost a decade. It may seem astonishing, but for a mansion nearly the size of the Aztec pyramids, it's hard to argue that the time was well spent. The 105,000 square foot mansion, which stands as a testament to excess, was finally completed in 2021. Upon entering this palace of extravagance, one is immediately struck by its minimalist design, a true marvel considering the size and cost of this property. The marble walls and glass panels exude an air of sophistication, proving that even billionaires can embrace simplicity with just the right amount of marble. Of course. However, it's anything but simplistic. It has 20 rooms and 30 bathrooms. And it seems that choosing the sink that will grace your presence is a privilege reserved for the elite. 2 huge dining rooms ensure you never have to dine in the same place twice during the season. But let's not forget the latest generation of cooking, where one can present one's own cooking show, probably more entertaining than the ones on TV right now, as long as they are not produced by or for me, of course. As if this mansion wasn't enough of a status symbol, Niami has gone above and beyond with a 30-car garage that ensures all family members, including drivers, can park their vehicles in style. But wait, there's more. A wine cellar capable of holding 10,000 bottles, something any self-respecting owner would insist on. And if you're in the mood for a swim, you can choose from the 5 pools that adorn the property. It's like having a personal water park without the annoying public entertainment options, complete with a bowling alley, a private casino, and a nightclub straight out of a mermaid-themed disco. Yes, you heard that right. Rare fluorescent jellyfish adorn the walls, casting an otherworldly glow. Now, here's the catch. This building, valued at $500 million, faced challenges. By March 2022, it was sold for $127 million. In October 2021, it declared bankruptcy, and its price plummeted to $295 million by January 2022. Unfortunately, on March 4th, 2022, this palace of indulgence was sold for a mere $127 million, a real steal for anyone with some spare change lying around. So while Niami's films may not have stood the test of time, his real estate adventures, especially this one, will forever be etched in the annals of luxury excess, just as the 2 largest mansions in the U.S. did. Let's see what they have to offer. Ojika Castle. Welcome to the opulent world of Ojika Castle, a lavish estate that has undergone many transformations and adventures over the years. Perched at the highest point of Long Island, this architectural marvel is the 2nd largest mansion in America and offers the grandeur of 2 White Houses combined. As if that weren't enough, it's named after its owner, Otto Hermann Kahn, a financier with a taste for the finer things in life. Built in 1919 with a hefty investment of $158 million, Ojika Castle became the muse for F. Scott Fitzgerald's Great Gatsby at its peak. Otto Kahn spared no expense in turning this 109,000 square foot masterpiece into a playground for himself and 600 of his closest friends. Scott Fitzgerald, at its peak, Otto Kahn spared no expense in turning this 109,000 square foot masterpiece into a playground for himself and 600 of his closest friends. Now that's an exclusive guest list. After Otto Kahn's passing, Ojika Castle went through a series of owners who witnessed its decline. However, in the late 70s, Jerry Milius came in like a knight in shining armor and rescued this architectural gem for just $1.5 million. Little did he know he was signing off on the most expensive renovation in history, a whopping $37 million. Milius meticulously restored the castle to bring back its former glory, recreating the French-inspired wonder, paying attention to every little detail of each window and door. The 222 were replaced with exact replicas. Even the marble floors and original railings got the royal treatment. It's like a real-life Cinderella story, but instead of glass slippers, it's the glass windows that make everything magical. As you cross the main door, get ready to be transported to the Roaring Twenties. A double staircase welcomes you with hand-forged iron railings, so valuable that it took over 8 months to restore them. The ballroom, where laughter and music once echoed, has been reincarnated as a restaurant. A double staircase welcomes you with hand-forged iron railings, so valuable that it took over 8 months to restore them. The ballroom, where laughter and music once echoed, has been transformed into a restaurant. The rest of the castle is a luxurious hotel where guests are treated like modern royalty. But wait, there's more. Milius, the new age gentleman of the castle, decided he needed his own hideaway. A man cave that cost just $200,000, literally carved out of concrete. We all need a place to escape, right? Especially when you're the savior of castles. Surprisingly, amidst all this opulence, Ojika Castle retains its historic charm. The library, the classroom, the lounge, the terraces, and the hallways have remained intact since 1919. The piece de resistance, an original indoor swimming pool. Today it may seem normal, but in the 1920s it was like having an indoor skydiving simulator. This castle isn't just a feast for the eyes. It's surrounded by 443 acres of English gardens. A true work of art. And of course, there's a private golf course, because why not? Now, one might think that such extravagance comes with a hefty price tag, but fear not, commoners. Ojika Castle is open for visits. And if you want to feel like royalty, you can spend a night or two and pretend you're living in the lap of luxury like Otto Kahn. It's the closest thing to time travel. The dream of Gatsby. Don't forget to bring your dancing shoes and a monocle to enjoy the full effect. Cheers to living life in a castle, even if it's just for a day. But if you want to see true opulence, look no further than the family home of the wealthiest people of the early 20th century, the Biltmore estate. You can rarely find a better example of the luxurious lifestyle of the wealthiest people at the end of the 19th century than at the Biltmore estate. George Washington Vanderbilt, too, didn't just build a house. He orchestrated a symphony of excesses that surely cost several $billion in today's money. A lumber mill, a brick kiln, a railway. The man built a small empire just to put a roof over his head. While some collect stamps or baseball cards, Vanderbilt collected acres, 125,000 to be exact. Located in Asheville, North Carolina, this architectural colossus built over 120 years is a testament to what happens when a summer home construction project gets a little out of hand. 125,000 to be exact. Located in Asheville, North Carolina, this architectural colossus built over 120 years is a testament to what happens when a summer home construction project goes slightly awry. Now, let's move on to the piece de resistance. The mansion's facade, decked out with more ornaments than your grandma's Christmas tree, is an architectural buffet of clovers, gargoyles, and statues of St. Louis and Joan of Arc, courtesy of the famous Austrian sculptor Karl Bitter. And there's nothing better to feel at home than a 3-story decorated balustrade. Once inside, Prepare to be swept away by the Winter Garden, a place so luxurious it could probably buy a small town. There's a 90-foot-long room filled with 14th century tapestries. Because let's face it, nothing says sophistication quite like a wall covered in fabrics older than your great-grandparents. The library isn't just a literary wonderland, with over 10,000 books in 8 languages. Move it, Bella. There's a new bookworm in town. And it has a 2-story library that is the envy of fictional characters everywhere. But wait, there's more. Take a look at one of the largest chandeliers in the world hanging next to the grand staircase. A 4-story high masterpiece with 72 light bulbs. Why? Who needs natural light when you can dazzle your guests with pure extravagance? Let's talk about the bedrooms now. George's bedroom is connected to his wife's, a charming nod to European castles where royalty apparently enjoyed synchronized sleeping. Don't let your imagination run wild. We're in the golden age here, darling. With 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, 3 kitchens, this estate is practically a small village. And where they dine in the banquet hall, of course, set up for 60 guests. It features a triple fireplace, stone carvings, tapestries, and chandeliers. Because there's nothing more elegant than risking your life with hanging fires. It features a triple fireplace, stone carvings, tapestries, and chandeliers. Because there's nothing more elegant than risking your life with hanging fires. But why stop here? This mansion comes fully equipped for all your entertainment needs. There's a heated pool with 70,000 gallons, a bowling alley, and a top-notch gym straight out of the 19th century. Plus, what's the point of having a huge house if you can't throw a big bash in the bachelor wing with a pool table, a smoke kitchen, and if that wasn't enough, a ghost room? Because there's nothing more fun than a good spell. So, have you learned something, Elon? And you, Warren? Maybe you need to see how your contemporaries are doing. Click on the video to the left and find out how the richest men of today live in luxury.